welcome back to Pass and Pivot and the Netball podcast that speaks about all things South African netball and all things netball. We've made it to another episode and I am so excited. Today we are joined by the head coach of the SPAR Proteas, Coach Jenny van Dyk. Welcome to the pod, Coach Jenny.
Thank you, and thank you for having me today. I can't wait to speak and talk about all things Commonwealth Games.
Coach Jenny, so tell us, how has your year been? 2026, a very interesting year for you. Lots of wins. How has it been for you?
Yes, it's been a busy year. A lot of netball with the Telkom Netball League and with all the national championships for the universities and all of that. Been watching quite a lot of netball online with all our international players playing overseas. And but just I can't wait to get into camp and to start working with the SPAR Proteas.
No, definitely. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to come up with. Looking back, we are going to have to talk about that England series that we won at the beginning of the year. Absolutely amazing. I was there. The atmosphere was amazing. And just the work that the girls have put in, it's finally coming to show. And how does that feel for you as the coach and as your team around these players who are putting in all the work?
Yes, we were very proud of the team and the way they came through on that England Test series. It just shows how capable they really are, and I think they're really starting to believe and trust within each other to make it happen. So I think it really put us in a good spot, and it set them up for a fantastic international league season where they could go in confident and really just spread their wings and fly a little bit, which most of them did, and they've been so solid on that circuit as well. But it was really such a team effort, literally, with all the different combinations we played, and it was just a plan that came together, and that's the plan for the Commonwealth Games as well. So it was good to see that just before the Commonwealth Games we could get to that spot. But we also had quite a few conversations about the fact that we need to do it when it matters most, and that's in the big competitions like Commonwealth Games and World Cup as well. So it's a great win for us, but the goal still remains to perform when it really matters.
So going into the Commonwealth Games, how are you going to ensure that you keep that momentum from that England series, the international leagues going so well for all the girls, and bringing everyone together into cohesion? Like, what's the plan keeping that intensity? I'm sure you have one.
Well, we're actually going into camp today, so you are very lucky. You're the first one to actually talk to us just before we go into camp. And we've got quite a schedule set up. There's a tremendous amount of work that we need to get done in South Africa before we leave to go to Glasgow. And we've also added Uganda to the mix. So for us, for us, one of the big goals is to perform better than our previous Commonwealth Games in order to climb up the ranking with our performance. But it's also to obviously get to a semi-final spot. We wouldn't be the SPAR Proteas if that's not something that we want to get to, because if you can get to a semi-final spot, you can win it, So for us, yes, and for us, and even for Uganda, playing against each other and really getting together and having close curtain matches. And it's not to exclude the public from it, because it's just to find our inner circle and to find our inner workings before we leave. So for us, that's an important part of our plan, and it just worked out so well for us to be able to do that. But I can tell you, we've got such a busy schedule for the next 7 days. But we're also going to go through, the Springboks invited us to come and watch the test on Saturday, which I think will be this will be our little team builder. So, and they want to show their support for the Commonwealth Games as well. So a little bit of fun, a lot of teamwork, a lot of sessions on and off court, and I think that's sometimes the part that people don't see. It's the work we're doing off court, the analysis sessions we do, the sessions we do to find our sync and to make sure that everybody is on the same page. And yes, with limited time, but the whole plan is that when we leave South Africa on the 17th, that the majority and the bulk of the work has been done. That by the time we get to Glasgow, we can really start focusing, resting, recovering, and getting ourselves ready for impact.
Definitely. So what are you looking for in that Uganda game? I know they beat us in the past 2 big tournaments that we've played against them. But what is it that you're looking for in terms of your group? Because it is a closed game, and you said that you're going to be looking at combinations and you're looking at how the team is syncing. So what are the goals that you're setting for yourself personally and for the team, if you can share?
Well, from the very start of our campaign together as new management and a fairly new team, we discussed the fact that, in the Commonwealth Games, in the World Cup, we lost against Uganda, and that's something that doesn't sit well with us. So it's always been a part of our bigger preparation. We have a lot of respect for them. They are a formidable side. And, African netball overall is just so strong at the moment. I want to see more teams playing in the Commonwealth Games from Africa because we are much better than a lot of the other teams from all the other continents. But for us, on the one side is to remind ourselves of the formidable athletes that the Ugandans are, but also to make sure that we prepare ourselves for our first match, which will be against Malawi. So the thing is, the African style of netball and the European style and all the other styles are quite different to each other, So for us, having that as a preparation sets us up well for that first game in the Commonwealth as well. So for us, it's all about really solidifying the combinations within the circle, especially within our defensive circle. So, we've got Carla Pretorius that made her reappearance, and we, within defensive circles, it takes a little bit more time for that combinations to settle and to really understand each other. So for us, it's about putting as many as possible combinations out there and to make sure that all of them gel well and that they are ready for impact that side.
Yeah, definitely, because I think this will be the first time that Carla is actually playing with the rest of the rest of the selected ladies. So be interesting to see how that will go. I think I'm personally excited to see how that goes because they are all formidable. So good luck in making that work, coach. Good luck.
Yes, we've got such great players. I can tell you the one thing, and what most of this year was about, is to really sit down as selectors and watch every single game and really take our time to go through all the players and to discuss them over and over and over and over again, because this is something that's so important. Every 4 years you get to play in the Commonwealth Games. These players put in hours and hours of work to make that team, and it's devastating if they don't make that team. And at the moment, we have the depth that we want, and now we can only go with 12, which is actually quite sad.
Yeah.
Because you create all that depth and then you can only go with 12. But at the end of the day, it was such a difficult choice. But I really feel like we have a great mix. We've got one player, Carla Victor, she's been knocking on that door and she's been doing so well. And I mean, what better than to have your first cap as a Protea player in a Commonwealth Games? And then we've got the core group of players that's been around the block, that showed us with performance that they can do this, and that I think everybody expected to be there already. So yeah, quite a few changes here and there, but definitely a strong squad that we believe can do the job.
Definitely a strong squad. And your selection process, you don't have to go into too much detail about it, but you say you sat down with the selectors, and I know that you're not the only person who selects. So there's a lot of people that go into. Can you explain the people that go into the selection panel and like what it is that you guys are looking for, and because from an outsider's point of view, we can just say it goes on form, but we know that it's much more than just form.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look, for us, it's about the players that's performing at the moment. We've got enough great players to select the ones that's on form and that's ready for the tournament when the tournament happens. So that's important for us. So we've got our head of selections, Lana Krieger. She runs the show for us, and then I step in as a selector. Zanele Mdodana, my assistant coach, steps in as a selector, and then also Dukis, our male national coach. We work quite close together. I've known him for years, and we have made a pact between the two of us that we will help each other and assist each other going forward. So, and we know how valuable that is for both our teams, especially with the males also having a World Cup soon enough. So yeah, every TNL game, we also make sure that everybody watches all the international matches. We, after every second day and after every TNL leg, we have a discussion for half a day. We have online discussions. We put forward combinations. We discuss it again. We literally take every player on their own and discuss that player in detail in order to say, tick that one. We've ticked her. This is what we want. This is what we don't want. This is what she's doing well. And it's quite a process. And let me tell you, it's a drain. It's strenuous drain. It drains you quite a lot. But it's a part, and it's the worst part of the job. Let me tell you, because there's just so many talented players coming through, and I mean, you know, everybody's working for the same goal. So it's a tough one, but it's a part of the job, and it's got to get done.
Exactly. And I think I was there for all Power Weeks and I saw you. You were watching. You sit and you watch. You sit and you watch. And you're like, it's a lot. Because the Telkom Netball League is a long day. And you're sitting and you're watching not just Division 1, but you also watch Division 2. It's a lot that goes into this. And I think we as supporters, we appreciate the work that the management does, and we don't get to say thank you. So I'm going to use this moment to say thank you for the work that you are doing. And we are just fully supporting you as the supporters of SPAR Proteas.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, for us, it's a priority. You know, we haven't missed one game of the Telkom Netball League. Even if it's 7 o'clock, there's somebody watching that game. So it's for us, it's important that the players know that they are being seen, and not just once, but multiple times. But thank you. Yes, the hard work pays off at the end of the day, and that's what we're wishing for the Commonwealth Games.
So we have seen our squad, and I'm sure you've seen the other squads that have been selected, especially the ones in our pool. Talk to me about Australia and England. What do you think about their squads? What do we have planned for their squads? Who's our biggest competition in this pool?
Well, look, obviously Australia has won multiple competitions and World Cups over the years, so they are ranked number one for a reason. So that will be the strongest competition within our pool. We've got a very strong pool, especially with England in the same pool, but that's always going to be the case if you rank number 5. You will always have two stronger in your pool. And then we can't throw away Malawi. You know, Malawi has been the African team that has come the closest to score-wise against us, and we've played them quite a few times. But it's a strong side, and you know, and then you've got Tonga and Northern Ireland. That's also, you know, they play a slightly different style, but it's definitely there's no game in the Commonwealth Games that you can take up lightly. It's not let's just get it done. Everybody plays in super leagues. Everybody plays all over the world in all the different leagues, and they are conditioned and ready for the competition. So for us, every game is important. But yeah, I think it's obvious we need to win one of the big two to progress to the semi-finals, and that's the work that we need to put in now in the next week to make sure that we can get that done.
They're back to back, Coach Jenny. What were the gods thinking when they did that to you guys? Back to back. That is a big, massive. I think it's a bit of a downfall, but we'll take it as we can do it.
Yeah, definitely. It's not perfect to play Australia the second last day, and then England for the final match. But we've had the fixtures for a long time, and we have prepared ourselves for it. And you know, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, and you have to beat the best under difficult circumstances as well. So for us, that is the work that we need to get done, and there's no excuses at the end of the day. We need to get it done.
Yeah, definitely. I did see that we only named 12. Do we have any our reserves like all the other squad teams, or we just taking our 12?
Yes, but we approached it a little differently. So we only named 12, but we have 18 players available of the 24 that and the reason for that is, should something happen or a player gets injured or ruled out of the competition, we have up until the day before the competition starts to make a change within our 12. When we get to that route, if let's say we only selected 15 and we only have a goal attack and a goal shooter gets injured, then it means we can't replace with a goal shooter option. We need to replace with a goal attack option. So for us, we didn't name 3. We stick to 5 additional players. Well, 6 additional players, in order to make sure that if there is injury, a player within that's a specialist in that position can come in immediately and help us to get the job done. So we approached it a little bit different, but I think it's a good thing. You rather want a specialist than just to bring in a player that's not from that position.
Very true. Okay, so as long as you have your aces covered, because what we know is that there's only 12 people. So thank you for clearing that up. That of course, what was I even thinking? Of course, you have it covered, definitely. So going into camp, let's talk about the players and what you're looking for in the players, not just your whole plan.
Yeah, no, look, for us, it's all about intensity. It's been something that we spoke about for the past couple of years. The fact that in order for us to be competitive, we need to be able to run at a certain intensity for an entire game so that we can be competitive at the end. If we can't hit those goals and stick to that intensity, then it becomes difficult to manage the game because you fall back, fall back, fall back, fall back, and then the margin becomes too big for you to manage and to get to a win. So we're looking for intensity and quality, not necessarily quantity. And we're also looking for players that really needs to be able to analyze their opponents. They need to know exactly what they're up against with the teams they're playing against. And we'll do quite a lot of work around that. Now that most of the 12s and most of the 15s have been revealed, it was quite a wait to wait for everybody to reveal their 12. But we have all of that information now, so there's quite a lot of work there that needs to get done. And then it's also about making sure that we get the combinations that we want to see on court working as fluently and as perfectly as possible.
Definitely. And in terms of you as a coach, from what I've noticed from other countries is that coaches aren't getting the support that they need. Are you feeling supported by Netball South Africa and your people around you?
Yes, I do. You know, I think within the means we have available to us, so we try to do everything we can with what we have, and we've just come to a point where we have to utilize what we have to the best of our abilities. So yes, maybe if you think of other sporting codes, it might not be apples with apples, but it's something that we are used to and something that we're really working towards. The whole infrastructure of the SPAR Proteas in really getting us to operate like a full professional team within our country. So yes, we are getting the support, but we also sometimes restricted in certain ways, but we always try our best to get everything.
I think that's the point, is the restriction, but we won't focus too much on that. In terms of your 4-year or 10-year, should I say, what is it that you feel like you've done so far that has made you the coach that you are in the SPAR Proteas?
I think it's about the attention to detail, really, and also showing the players that you believe in them. But it's one thing to show a player that you believe in them and not back them with strategy and with game plan. As coaches, we inspire and we motivate and we make better people at the end of the day. But your main job still remains to be valuable on court, to give them what they need to be able to perform on court, netball specific. And I think that's something that we've really been focusing on, is to make sure that the sessions is planned out in a way and the game plan is planned out in a way where it makes sense and where they feel that it works on court and they feel that they can get the results that they need to get. But yeah, it's been quite a journey. And I think, for us, the second thing we did was our first season. We started off with lower ranked team, easier teams, and we moved over and we finished off with the stronger teams, where with our second season, we actually threw it around completely and we started off with the strongest teams to test our players and then finished off with the lower ranked teams, well, lower than 1 and 2. So for us, changing up those seasons was also very important, and just making sure that our players understand what it really takes to be a world-class player. And that's been a word that we've been using quite a lot in our camp. What does it look like to be a world-class player? If you're the best of the best of the best in the world, I mean, you look at Elmarie van der Berg playing in that Suncorp and just being phenomenal. And that's the type of focus we want, is what's missing, and then really asking critical and difficult questions on what's missing and what's the work that we need to put in still and where are we slacking. So we always tend to want to do the things that we're good at, but are we really focusing and getting the things that we're not as good at on a standard that can make us world class? So yeah, it's quite a process, but I must say it's been fun and it's been challenging. And for me, the one thing about the SPAR Proteas is once we get together in camp, we actually thrive on the pressure that surrounds us. It just lifts everybody, and they just step into the zone and they want to start performing. So that's good to work with. We've got fantastic players.
That's great. And from you said Elmarie, but she's not the only one who's done amazing things overseas. We have Jamie, Sana, they've won so many awards with their clubs, prospective clubs. What is it that you think that we still need to do as South Africans or SPAR Proteas to get more of our players into the SSN, into the NSL? We want more, obviously, but won't that make your job even harder selecting?
Well, look, at the end of the day, we watch all the international matches in any case, because that's what we do. We watch netball, so it won't make it harder. Yes, it's fantastic for them to take part, and especially if we can get more players in the Suncorp League, that would be fantastic. You can just see how the standard lifts once they get to that league, and that's something we're really working towards. But for us, The dream still remains to have a fully professional league in South Africa itself, where we can bring in international players, where we can have all our players playing in small combinations together and being back home and playing at home. So that would be first prize still.
Definitely. And I think we would all want that. Imagine having other African national players come into our league. That'd be amazing. Definitely something we need to do. Coach
Yes, and
Jenny.
not just African players, a lot of players from different countries, not just African players.
Yes, yeah, we want them all. They must come. Coach Jenny, just a question. In terms of the training partners, can you just explain to us what a training partner is in the SPAR Proteas setup?
We select our squad usually depending on the season and what's happening on that season, usually after the SPAR Challenge, SPAR Championships and SPAR National Championships. And then as we go into our national season, we want to get to a squad of around 24 players. And then those players remain a part of the group. And then as the competitions happen and we see more talent, we then invite those players in to become training partners. We call them training partners usually when either they haven't played for the Proteas in a long time or if they've never played for the Proteas from before. And then they first enter as a training partner. But like you saw, Carla Victor and Carla Pretorius were both training partners in the beginning of the season, and they are now in the Commonwealth squad. So it's just an entry point for us. And then as soon as we have our final selection, then we can decide on who the players are that we need to exit and who the players are that will remain a part of the squad. But it just goes to show that we're constantly keeping an eye on all our players, and that if you perform, you will become a part of the group. You know, if you show us that you can perform.
Yeah, so that goes to my next question, which is what is it that someone who's playing in a TNL or a TNC needs to do in order to become a SPAR Protea or a training partner?
Well, you need to show that you can perform consistently and that what your performance is of such that you are an essential part of that team. So in other words, that team can't play without you on that court. They struggle without you on the court. You need to be able to have a court IQ, a match IQ, court sense, and you need to be able to make good decisions under pressure. We're looking for the players that's willing to put up their hands and say, give me the difficult challenges, give me the under pressure moments, and then executing it well and making it work. So at the end of the day, fitness we're looking at conditioning of the players, we're looking at the big match temperaments, we're looking at the specialist skill that they have within their position. We're also looking at the physicality and the height of the players. At certain positions, other positions doesn't really matter. But it's quite a combination of things that we discuss and that we see. But the most important part is being consistently brilliant throughout a tournament and showing us that you're ready to step up that level. Because I always tell the Proteas, you need to stand out head and shoulders above the rest within your local competition in order to just perform at average level in an international competition. So you really need to work hard to become the best.
That's amazing. Okay, no, that makes sense. Okay. So I'm just going to end it off with some quick fire questions. Thank you very much for your time, but we're not done yet. Do you mind playing quick fire?
Let's go.
Okay. So the first thing that comes to your mind, Coach Jenny. Question 1, most difficult team to come up against and why?
Definitely New Zealand for me. And why? Because they play a totally different style than some of the other countries that we used to.
Okay. Yes, fair. Second
Jamaica
question.
is also in there. I know I can only say one, but yeah.
Jamaica. Oh, have you seen their squad? It's interesting.
Yeah,
Hey?
fantastic. Yeah. Beautiful,
So,
beautiful
second
team.
question, most difficult coach to come up against and why?
Definitely. Or I would also say New Zealand. You know, Nolene is an expert, and she's really been doing well. And I think tactically and strategically, she's very strong. So that's quite a difficult coach to come up against.
Okay.
Even though I have not come up against her yet. So I mean, this will be my first time because when we played then she wasn't the coach, you know?
Yeah, that was that icky time. But it's fine. This in the semifinals we'll come up against her, I'm sure. Okay, question 3. If you could poach any player from any other team, who would it be and why? Any player, internationally, here in South Africa, any player.
I would take Gretel Protea from Australia, the goal attack. That's not playing anymore, but she played in the Malaysian league now. That is one of the most brilliant players I've ever seen in my life.
She is great. Do you think she'll come back to national to the national team?
I don't hope so, but I hope so. For netball, it's important that she's a part of it.
Yes, okay. Top three players who you think can play in the SSN not next year, or in the future from the SPAR Proteas.
In the future.
Not Almaray.
Not Almaray, not Almaray. I would like to see. Oh, there's too many. That's a very unfair question. All my players can play in that league. They must let all of them go there. No, I can't just select three.
Fair. Second to last question. Best coaching tip for coaches who are listening now?
I think what I said earlier is so important. It's fantastic to be a great motivator. It's fantastic to inspire people, but your job is to coach. So strategy, tactics, technical aspects of the game, giving them feedback, that's quality feedback that they can use in the next quarter already. That remains an important part of coaching. So as a coach, don't forget what your real job is. Your real job is to make sure that they have the solutions they need and to help them find the solutions for themselves. So don't just spoon feed them always. But yeah, coach. That's your most important job. Not just defenders defend, attackers attack, shooters shoot.
Okay, perfect. And the last quick fire question. The player that has surprised you the most in your career in all aspects, not just skill.
In all aspects.
A player that you didn't think would get to where they are right now.
From my team or anywhere.
Anyway, like even when you coached in high school, where?
You know, that was Marlies de Bruin. I don't know if you remember. She also played rugby.
Yeah. She went and she's
Yeah.
playing rugby now, isn't she?
Yeah, but she's not. Yeah, she's done with the rugby as well. But she's a coach, and you know, she was one player that just amazed me with her work rate and her character and the way she played the game and the way she kept on working to become so good. So no, she's one of my favorites.
Okay, Coach Jenny, what would you like us as supporters to do, and how would you like us as supporters to support the SPAR Proteas and you and your team?
So, just send your love and regards and focus on the positives as well. We are well aware, and trust me when I say we are highly critical on ourselves. We want to be as good as possible. But sometimes, I can see just giving the positive feedback to the players and not just all the negative feedback. I think that boosts them and really helps them. So send your messages of support on social medias and everywhere. But also remember that we're definitely not going out there. We don't want to disappoint anybody. So if there is mistakes that does happen or things that doesn't work out, back us through thick and thin and through the good and the bad.
Definitely. Coach Jenny, an honor. Thank you so much for joining me on Pass and Pivot. Is there anything else you'd like to say before you jump off and go into camp?
No, but thank you for your time and thank you for your fantastic investment in netball. It goes a long way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Jenny. I appreciate that.